I have a confession to make. I'm short. I'm 5'2.5". I worked hard for that half, which is roughly 160 centimeters. Now, why is this important? Well, this is a picture of all my physical art resources. Books about learning to draw, different facets of animation, writing stories, and tons of reference books about different art styles from both popular artists and pop culture media. I even have the complete DVD series of Richard Williams' Animator Survival Kit, which is one of the first two books I was required to buy when I started working on my animation degree. And the thing is, this stack is taller than me. And this is just what I have physically present, saying nothing about all the pre-recorded art tutorials I've bought online. So why, despite this large collection, do I still feel like I'm more often than not stumped when it comes to art? Well, one reason is I haven't actually gotten through all of them yet. So I thought the next step to improving was to finish my backlog of materials and take some notes. So I chose my first book, and after the second day, I realized this wasn't gonna work. That I had other issues stopping me from improving. Hi, welcome to the channel. In my first video, I said I would finally get off my butt and get better at the thing I want to spend my life doing, which is art. So consider this my first update. As progress goes, not as much as I hoped. Though to be fair, I've had some other stuff that had to take priority, like finding a new job. I found one, been working there for a few weeks now, and it requires minimal to no contact with customers, so far so good. However, I do think I've figured out something important, particularly when it comes to my motivation, or more specifically, the things that drain me of my motivation. Motivation is a key aspect to learning after all, so knowing what demotivates me should help with avoiding it in the future. At least, I hope so. TLDR, I did some introspection and I figured out my two biggest problems. First off, I have a bad habit of trying to do too much all at the same time. I think I'm pretty good at multitasking, but I also tend to overdo it. I have too many things I want to do, and I'm impatient to do them all. Immediately after I graduated from college, I tried to work on my demo reel, learn how to code, write a book, and research/write a multi-hour-long YouTube video all at the same time, which resulted in me burning out twice. Because after recovering from it the first time, I had apparently not learned my lesson. I've cut down on all my projects for now, only focusing on improving my drawing skills, this YouTube channel, and my weekly Dungeons and Dragons game with my friends, since I'm the DM. Overall, this has been the more manageable issue. The other one goes a bit deeper.
Journey before destination.
This is a quote from the book series The Stormlight Archives. It's part of a much larger quote, but this is the part I want to focus on. This is basically just a shortened version of "it's the journey, not the destination," which I'm pretty sure everyone has heard at least once and probably not thought too deeply about it. I mean, it sounds pretty straightforward and obvious, right? I already said it before, but there's so many things I want to do, so many things I want to make, and it doesn't feel like there's enough time to do it all. The ideas keep coming, but I don't have the skills to do them like I envisioned them. When I first tried to make YouTube videos on a different channel, I had the goal of making money off the channel as quickly as possible. In fact, all my projects have been monetarily driven to an extent. I was so keenly aware that in order to have a life where I could focus on creative endeavors, those same endeavors needed to make a return on my investment. So that became my focus, the final product, which I think is why I would lose all motivation and end up not finishing anything. And even if I did finish something, I wouldn't feel satisfied with it. I think this all came to a head back in 2024. After working on my Fakemon challenge, I struggled with the fact that my drawings were not coming out as I imagined they would, which would lead to frustration, and we already talked about the cycle in my last video, so I won't harp on it, but then a thought occurred to me. I didn't really have an image in my head when drawing a lot of the Fakemon. I just let myself try things. Instead of forcing my art to conform to this unclear and yet at the same time rigid idea in my head, why not just explore and see where it goes? See where my pencil leads me. Don't be afraid to experiment and move away from my initial idea. I think this revelation is what helped me stop feeling so frustrated all the time and reminded me of something important. Why do we do art? I don't know about anyone else, but for me, it has nothing to do with likes on social media or even money. No, I do it because I like art. I like seeing the art of other people, and I want to do it too. I've never cared about becoming a so-called master, because honestly, what does that even mean? I bet most people we call masters never called themselves that. That's why I named the channel The Art Prentice, because I actually like learning new things, and I never want to stop learning. I want to keep exploring and keep growing forever, if I can. Because that seems way more fun than trying to reach some idea of perfection that if someone forced me to try to define, I probably couldn't even explain it. So great, I now know my issues and I won't do them anymore, right? Well, I wish it was that easy. These are things I've done for a long time, so even if I know they're a problem, it's gonna take time to fix these habits. I quite literally came upon these same problems when trying to make this very video. I said that Richard Williams' Animator Survival Kit was one of the first 2 books I was required to get when I first started to learn animation. There was a second book I was required to buy also, and I'll be honest, I don't remember ever using it at all. Maybe like 1 or 2 sections, but after all this time, I couldn't remember anything about this book. So I thought, why not crack that one open and see what's inside? The book is called Drawn to Life, 20 Golden Years of Disney Masterclasses, Volume 1, by Walt Stanchfield, edited by Don Hahn. Sorry if I butchered those names. Basically, Walt Stanchfield was a legendary animator who made a bunch of flyers to go along with his lectures to help teach other animators. And this is a compilation of all the flyers placed in a single book and reformatted a little. From the first page, I already knew this man knew what he was talking about, and I was super excited to read it. My first thought was, I can't wait to talk about this in my next video. So I planned to get through it in a week and calculated how long it would take me. Roughly 54 pages a day. So I immediately got started, typed out some notes, and after reading 27 pages, I was starting to feel overwhelmed. So I decided to stop for that day. Maybe it'll take a little longer to finish, but I'll get through it. So the next day, I cracked open the book again, looked at the next page, immediately felt overwhelmed, and slowly closed the book again. I had gotten burnt out on this book after one day. I was so focused on finishing the book as fast as possible, I stopped enjoying reading it. Then there's the fact that there is 20 years of advice inside. And from what I've read, the advice has all been solid. But 20 years of advice is a lot of advice that I try to take in as fast as possible. Of course I got overwhelmed. It reminded me of assigned reading in school and how it ruined my enjoyment of books for years. There was a lot of other things I initially planned to talk about in this video. And show some art. Not really an art channel if I don't, but I realized I need to do a little less planning and a lot more doing. There's still a bunch of stuff I want to do, and time still feels limited, and I don't think I'm wrong that a life focused on making art means I do have to make money off of it. But despite my impatience, rushing is not gonna help. And I'd rather focus on enjoying the journey instead, as cheesy as that is. So, motivation acquired, I guess. Don't expect another philosophical video next time. I'm just gonna stick to focusing on my drawing fundamentals, including anatomy. I mean, I'm not worried or anything. It's just a skeleton. They're not even CR1 monsters. Don't worry if you didn't get that. It was a D&D joke. I'm a huge nerd. Anyway, have a good morning, noon, or night, whatever time it is for you. I just hope you have a good one. And wish me luck. Until next time, later.